Welcome back to another live session, traders, for the upcoming ADP non-farm employment change, looking at entry to this market here, starting with another trading days and week that's currently progressing towards significant trend. And looking at here on gold and also some dollar pairs that we're looking at, we can see some move on DXY that you have seen earlier, and euro dollar, gold, quite a few instrument currently trending at the moment. So in this live session we will be looking at entry based on price action confirmation, as well as looking for a full analysis to see that how the market is creating its structure over time. So now I was looking at this chart on gold on the daily. If you look at, the price has just tested this support as a resistance, and we can see some kind of reaction coming up here on gold. If you all are here, then say yes, then we can begin a potential trade setup in this session. Hello sir, may I know why sudden fall in gold? Okay, you mean this overall fall in the gold starting off this level. So the fall in gold, welcome, thank you. So the fall in gold is to go up again. If there is no down, then there is no up, right? If you look at this move at the top, the market reached that. This is an all-time high price, and there is a break below. So this fall that you can see, 3 days of sudden drop back below to the previous order block, is in fact a potential new opportunity for the buyers. Imagine that you are, moving somewhere where there is no down. So if you look at this drop that you can see on gold of this level to this level, and that drop that you can see from this high to this low is this fall that you can see is in fact an opportunity for the buyers, because when the market drop here to that support level, that's where the market created a new opportunity for the buyers to move the price back to the upside here. So as if you look at this initial move in the beginning of this level, that initial move aggressively back to the upside created this new all-time high, and of this all-time high the price has rejected back below again to this support level, and from that support the market has created this initial break back to the upside. So at the moment what we can see, that the market is creating another momentum back to the upside. The market is potentially preparing for further upside. So 3 days drop that you can see was in fact necessary for the market to go up again, because the market will never be able to move only in one direction at all the time if you look at. So therefore, with this movement here on gold, the price action showing up to be bullish in that area. Now at the moment, if you look at the daily price action here, the daily bullish candlestick pattern and the daily candlestick pattern, back to back 2 days, the market has formed a bias back to the upside, showing up that XAUUSD eventually could continue to rise back here to create a new higher high. And looking at, if you look at the intraday time frame of this support pullback, another more pullback, so this is a continuous bullish trend that you can see, which is maintaining now series of higher high and higher low. So we have seen that so far, if you look at the today's price action here of this support level, the market after from this support level has made its initial move back to the upside. And with that initial move, the price action showing that the price continue to rise and to create a new higher high in that market. And because the market is maintaining this uptrending market structure, we could see that this market to continue to trend and potentially moving back here to this key level. And we are looking at the lower time frame now. If you look at, as the market trend is bullish, if you look at, this is a key support level. Of this key support level, it's showing up that the market to maintain its move back above here. And lower time frame price action, where this is that you can see the market after this long consolidation now on a pullback. So this pullback, as the market trend is bullish, therefore breaking below can give us further trading opportunity. That means that entry to the upside here in that market. And that being said, we are looking at here in that market for an uptrending move back above here in that area. And with this movement, as the price is now on the support level, expecting the price to retest and then return back again to the upside. This is what we are looking at this market to give us a bullish entry opportunity here in that market. So looking at the lower time frame, we see the pullback here, and that pullback now can give us possible buying in this market. And this is what we are looking at this price action to give us an entry to the upside. And that being said, are you guys ready for an entry? If you look at here, there's a break below. Now this kind of, we are now on the 1 minute chart, guys, potentially for an entry. If you look at here from this 1 minute, this is the initial drop here. And with that 1 minute drop that you can see from this high to this low, that could be broken back below. And when we see market breaking like that in one single move and then bouncing back to the upside, in fact, it's creating a new trading opportunity here for us. And that is what we are looking at, an entry after this initial breakup structure. Now I do more often discuss about the breakup structure. Breakup structure is the core of the smart money trading, because when the market in a structure, everyone can see the trade, everyone can read the trend, but when the market breaks from the structure, that's where the actual confusion is created. Because when there is a breakup structure, we could see the buyers and sellers get confused, because in a bull market, if you see the market has broken out of the structure, in a bull market, you could see that the market, in that bull market, after the breakup structure, it creates a kind of confusion between the buyers and sellers, because some might think that the market has broken out of the structure, it's a downtrend, the trend change. Some might think that, okay, it's just a breakup structure. You could see that the market again going to move in the major direction. So that's where the trading opportunity comes. Your notifiers, yeah, of course, here you are trading, and any trade that I am opening also I'm sharing in here with all of you. Also I'm sharing the premium group, so don't miss out that. We definitely not only opening a trade, but also focusing on learning part as a trader, which is the key. Do you use order block in your trading? Of course, we do use order block, and using an order block is the least point that you can find for an entry, right? If you look at the 1 minute chart, where is the order block here? This is an order block, right? With this uptrend here, this narrow red candle is an order block. An order block is where you can find, so whenever the market approaching an order block, you'll find that trading opportunity on that order block. You'll find that in that order block where the price action or the smart money has placed their maximum order. Now, understanding order block also will give you better understand how, in fact, in the real market, in the real field, in the real scenario, trading works. How do you know that? When there is an order block has formed, right? If you look at this is the order block. Now, with this order block that you can see, why it is essential as a trader to know order block? Because if you look at the smart money doesn't buy off every area, right? They only buy on a specific zone, especially if you look at a trend, okay, creating series of higher high and higher low. They usually, when the smart money is trading, they don't trade along the way. They trade on a order block. The most of the order is placed when the market changes its trend, because smart money cannot trade like we trade, right? They cannot place all their order in one go. So that's where it works in that way. But there is, do you use order block? But there is also a, yes, you can find order block in different time frame, okay? Because if you look at, we retail trader also trade on different time frame. Some trader trade on 1 minute, some trader trade on 5 minutes, some trader trade on 15 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hour. Order block also form at different time frame based on that what time frame the smart money is placing the order, right? Smart money might trade based on 5 minutes, or maybe based on 1 minute, based on 4 hour, 1 hour, depending on what time frame you are looking at. So if I give you some examples of order block, But you see that this is an order block. This is the 1 minute chart that you can see. Right, so this is an order block here. And with this order block, it's a narrow green candle. And that order block, you see the market had a significant drop of that level. And then the market now trying to reverse back to the upside. So understanding order block also will give you what level you should be setting up your profit target. If you look at that, this narrow red candle could be a level that if the market shows enough rejection of this level, we can look for entry, because all order block may not hold, but it's a very good area for finding an entry. So if you look at here, you can see this is the 1 hour price action. The market is now coming down here for this pullback of this resistance line. And now that being said, if you look at here from that level, they're expecting the market to eventually come down here for this. This is an imbalance in the market, and of that imbalance, if we see the price has enough rejection, we will be looking for, after this correction, if there is any bullish entry, we will be looking at that entry in this market. All right, so that being said, we are looking at an entry for this as coming up in few hours, ADP non-farm employment change, which is in few hours. If you look at here, of this support, the market has, if you look at, this is the 15 minutes candle close with a bullish candlestick with a long wick at the top and bottom with a healthy body on both direction. It's moving to the order block. That's good sign of reverse. Sign up. Yes, if the market has enough rejection of this level, right, then also you will be looking at that entry. We need to see that enough rejection, because still there is a possibility for this market to deepen here. All right, because there's already one single drop and it can consider as a pullback and could drop further down here. So if the price shows enough rejection, then we can look for that bullish entry in that market. All right, so here we are looking at for this deeper pullback, and that's what the best entry opportunity will come in place. Is all right. Now, if we see that there isn't a stronger downside here, that is where we are looking to see that buying, because if the market drop down further below, then we will be able to see that it's breaking out of that level. Now looking at fundamental, what news we have now at the moment coming up today? ADP non-farm employment change. First of all, I would like to start a poll, guys. This is significant information that really helps. So what is your bias? Until what level will this go to 5350? We'll be looking at that. What is your bias on XAUUSD? So this is what we are looking at the moment. What is your bias on XAUUSD with the upcoming ADP non-farm? So I'm sharing a pool. Interestingly, this pool results always, most of the time, come out to be correct. So don't miss out to cast a vote, and we'll see that before the news how many votes comes, and based on that what data come up. So we are discussing about XAUUSD news coming in. So basically, which is on dollar ADP non-farm employment change. Do you think that ADP non-farm employment change data will make gold further bullish, or you could see that the market to come back below to the support level? Now, at the moment, if you look at this market structure, by the way, also don't miss out to join the Telegram. I'm sharing the link here. You can stay connected there for regular education and analysis as well as update. So here is, if you look at of this support is carrying that initial bounce here. That now this break of structure, is this going to move back again to the resistance here? Now lower time frame, if you look at it, you can see the market is maintaining that structure here. And the volatility is medium now. What is the ATR? So at the moment, it's 33 pip on 1 minute, which is a moderate volatility in comparison with an extremely high, now to moderate. So we will be looking at, once the volatility goes little higher, as in few minutes also there will be a session open. With the session open, we can expect that the market to increase its volatility little higher here. Why we did not take the trade in related in retest of FVG? You could take the trade, but we wanted to see that deeper drop here because it's still did not show a stronger rejection. Usually best entry comes when if you see that directly testing the order block. Okay, so if you look at this red candle that we have marked that order block here, so this red candle that you can see, this red candle is an order block, and that order block has not been tested properly, and that is why we haven't looked at that entry, because the market didn't test the order block, and because the market didn't test the order block, we did not have that entry we were looking at. Now, the price, if you look at the 4 hour here, because we need to always look at the multiple time frame, that's where the best entry comes in play. If you look at the 4 hour here, that you can see the market has made its move, followed by this pullback to this support. And as the market has made its initial move back above here, that looking at this support, the price to retest that support and then to reject back again to the upside here. And as if you look at again 1 hour price action, showing up rejection. So the continuation of this uptrend is, the possibility of continuation of uptrend is higher. And therefore, looking at the lower time frame, we see the confirmation of a potential uptrend here, going possibly back to this order block again. And now with this uptrending continuation, any breakup structure can give us that possible entry again back to the upside here in that market. We see that a little increased in volatility, which is giving a higher possibility. Now with this initial reaction of this level here, this is currently trending, and that trend could continue, that you can see the market to reverse back above here. And as with that movement, that we are looking at this market structure to show its bias back to the upside. Okay, we can see the market trend is showing in that direction, and that is what we are looking at for this potential further move back to the upside here to this key level of resistance line here. And therefore looking at this market to now to break from the structure, and to break from the structure can give that this is a lower time frame uptrend now at the moment, and it just has crossed this high. You want to see a clean break of structure before it eventually create a new higher high here in that market. I'm in long position. Thank you. Welcome. Okay, so you see the imbalance is still back to the upside here. And with this imbalance, that if you look at of this support, if you look at this is an initial move, and where the market is maintaining this uptrend here, where the market is moving here back to the upside to create a new higher high in that market. And with this movement, it's maintaining its uptrend here, and you could see that the price to eventually bounce back to the upside here to create a new higher high. Welcome. And in the meantime, traders, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream. Good day. And if we look at the fundamental again, going back to that, and I believe that you guys have got some vote. You see that 80% bullish and 20% bearish. Okay, you guys can press that button so that you have more sentiment to understand which way the market might be heading here. So we are in 1 hour 15 minutes coming up. ADP non-farm employment change. Thank you very much. Absolutely. You okay, it's pushing that up here. Thanks for the appreciation. This is what, I'm doing it for now over. Now we are live. If you go back here, you see that I'm doing live since 2020, 2022, I think. It's quite a few years now. More than nearly to 4 years. It's a long way. Now, one thing, guys, this is a true experience that I'm sharing with all of you. If you really want to be successful as a trader after the extensive experience of trading, mentoring, and also trading, first understand that why do trader fail? One of the biggest reasons the trader fails is because they quit too early. This is the first thing. Because if you stick to trading long enough, it's gonna be day after day, it's gonna be easy. Then you start to see that actually how trading works, and you start to see trading very differently. So the first step is to stay in trading long enough. Now, how do you stay in trading long enough? By trading probably on a demo account. You can trade on a demo account. Okay. I would prefer trading on a demo account rather than a funded account. Okay, because if you really took a little bit of risk in trading, because there is always risk in trading, you can easily trade on a smaller account and let it grow. Okay, while I would trade on a demo account. Okay, that's how, because we have also the system that we are trading every day. Now, the key here is keep yourself in trading, right, long enough so that you can keep growing, keep learning as a trader. There is a learning curve in everything, right? So trading also has a learning curve. But the best thing of becoming a trader is that you don't need any background, you don't need anything except a mindset, because trading is a skill set that you can implement every single day to grow yourself. And always look for the long term. Nothing happens overnight. So always think of long term, then give you bigger picture. Why not long term? Now, imagine that anything that you want to do, okay, after graduation, getting a job, doing anything, it takes an extended period of time. In trading, it's 3 to max 3 years if you fully focus on learning, not more than 3 years to become a trader. And that you can use this skill set to scale up your everything, lifestyle, everything that you have by having a skill. And also, if you study the successful people, you see that they always advise that be good at one thing, very good at, right? You'll see that if you go to the doctor, the specialized doctor has always a higher requirement in terms of their fee or anything like that, because they are good at one thing. So in trading, like that, be good at one thing, extended time, stick to it, and it's gonna come back to you, right? Now, that being said, if you're passionate about trading, then this is where we are learning every single day, becoming a trader. And also share your experience, how long you're trading as well, here in the live chat. Okay, so we are progressing towards the new session in a few hours. So till the gold touch the 5062 level, we shouldn't buy. 5062 level. Okay, so with this initial bounce, the market again trying to break that level here, which could bring that market further downside here. Now of this 15 minutes 20 EMA, the market, we can see that there is a rejection of this level that could bring that market further down, and we might be able to find an entry after this confirmation here in that area. And this is what we are looking at, to see the market is coming well below before we look for that entry. Here is that drop that you can see. Okay, we can see that after break of this high, it's now filling some of this long wick in that area here. Okay, it's a complete break of structure now, and I will still be looking for buying once we see the market has done enough pullback here. And of this support test, if the market reverse back again to the upside, we are looking at bullish entry here in that market. Alright, so you can see after forming a doji here, this is where the market is trying to move, potentially creating an upside bias here. We'll be looking for entry on a rejection, preparing for that entry here. Okay, at any point, once we see enough confirmation, we can look for potential entry here. And if we look at here, this is the 5 minutes price action. There's initial bounce, but it's still downside move further possible here for another retest of this support here. Now with this break below, we see the pullback and the market slightly coming down for this another rejection here, and that could bring that market potentially back above here to create a new higher high. And I'm looking for okay, so you can see that after this close of this candle, the market slowly building its momentum back above here, and that could take that price back above to create possibly a new higher high. And with that new higher high, we'd like to see the price to show up here for another move back to the upside here in that area. And here is the price action that you can see the market slowly creating its move back below. And what do you want to see, guys? Here the price to pull back properly and then to give us another entry opportunity here in that market. Now when you're looking at the entry, patience is scarce. There is a NOI session coming, and there is we see 78% bullish for the upcoming ADP non-farm employment change. 22%. Have you cast the vote to see that everyone's bias? Today, 2 news. All right, so as this is the current trend line on the lower time frame that you can see on 1 minute chart, and with this current trend line, the price action here is slowly showing that there is a potential for break, and then they're expecting it to return again back up side again of that support level, and breaking off this trend line is where creating the best possible scenario here that you can see. All right, so the price is now breaking from that trend line. All right, so we are looking at entry on a break of that trend line. So till the gold touch the 5062 level, we shouldn't buy. Why do you think so? Is it because of the level that for the fair value gap? 5062 is here, and then there is a fair value gap. Now, 1 hour market structure, if you look at, there was a long doji here, and the market now, the price getting significantly rejected of this support level that you can see here in that market. And because the market is getting rejected of this support level here, we could see the market to continue to trend and back above here to create a potentially new higher high. And with this, if you look at this, is a double bottom. Here is a breakout structure multiple times. So the way the market structure is forming now, if you look at here, whenever it's breaking below the trend line, it's getting that rejection back above. So the buyers here in that trend line. So it's still showing that there is a bullish trend continuation here in that market. And that could continue to rise here back above to create a new higher high. So we can see 30 minutes candle closing also forming a long doji here. Now this doji can create again bullish bias as a big bull candle followed by a doji. That means that the pressure is still to the upside. I prefer here for an entry after a retest in that area, and with a bullish engulfer in that area, that you can see the market is showing the price to eventually break that high, and where Okay, so you see there is a initial bounce, pullback, liquidity grab, another bounce, and the market is maintaining this uptrending market structure here. And with that uptrending market structure, we can expect this price to continue to rise back here, potentially to create a new higher high. Okay, so with this movement, the price slowly, if you look at here, it's trying to break that low, which can eventually test that low and return back again to the upside here. With that movement, with a bullish engulfer, you could see the price to eventually break that high here. And it's breaking to the upside here, and it's maintaining that uptrending market structure. And there's a stronger bounce back here, and we can see the market is maintaining this significantly uptrending market structure, which is showing up that XAUUSD potentially to remain upside here. So we can see the market is trending, and we could see that potentially continue to rise here to create a new higher high. This is where we can see the price. There is a crossover of 10 and 20 EMA, which is maintaining its move potentially back above here, and we could see that there is a possibility that the price to continue to rise here, and we will be looking at this market to, with this break here, that there is a possible pullback, and with that pullback here, they're expecting the market to drop down further down here. So that being said, here what are you looking at? DXY started to drop down as with this initial bounce that we are looking at how the DXY is playing out in that area. Now you can see that this is the daily price action where the market is consolidating, moving in a sideways. And if we look at here the 4-hour chart here, that this is a trend line where the market is off this trend line, breaking that below here, and could eventually come down further back below. So a DXY might be starting a potentially a downtrend. If DXY start a downtrend, then you could see that gold is starting its uptrend here. And that being said, if we look at here, if you look at, this is a bullish market structure, and with this bullish market, if you look at here on the lower time frame, the price action is eventually looking to see this breaking back to the upside here in that market. Okay, so you can see the market slowly trying to show its move here back. So the market is on bullish. Okay, the market is bullish, and we see that it's maintaining that uptrend, just breaking that high, and we can see the price to eventually creating that movement here back, and with this high here, it's coming down back below. Okay, so this is a neckline here. Thank you very much for joining. What are you seeing? Thank you very much for confirmation. And if we look at here, the price has dropped back to this order block, and with that drop to this order block, the market is showing that we might see that continuation, and with that continuation here, we are looking at this price action to potentially bounce back to the upside here. And once we see the price has shown enough confirmation, if you look at this is the 15 minutes, and we might be able to find an entry as we see that uptrend market structure, and here it's creating a long week candlestick pattern from the 1 hour as well, the 30 minutes, and I'm going to look at for possible entry. Guys, this is the 5 minutes price action, just candle closed, and here, okay, so here I'm going to open buy of this, opening a long position, keeping a stop loss below this low here, which gonna be around 94, 96 pip, stop loss, keeping the TP target above to this level. We can adjust along the way if needed, and I will be explaining slowly the logic behind the trade. First, going to open the position here for this move, stop loss 5042.99, and placing TP target at 5074.04. So we place that here, that bullish trend continuation here in that market, and expecting the price to potentially break that high. And I'm on it. It's running in at the moment, running in profit. Welcome. We want to see that initial move here. And I'm going to also explain the logic. If you look at here, break below straight to this previous support, the previous resistance, turn support here, and off this level expecting another bounce here back above in this market. Okay, so we are on this, we are on it. And with that being said, here expecting it to further upside here. Okay, we can see that upside here. Looking anytime I will be taking profit. Also, I'll be sharing here the update. One of you said that to give an announcement when I'm opening, so you are on the trade. Say yes if you are running the trade with me here in the live chat. Thank you. Awesome. We can see upside here. Got that break below, start to break below here, and expecting it to potentially so you see that there is a break of structure. That's what the market has. After moving initial move here, 47 pip moved and it broken back below. Now we'll be waiting to see how far it might show up. If you look at the 30 minutes, okay, so the market just crossed our entry, and because the market has broken below, it might try to deepen further. Let's see that where it is going now. This is the 5 minutes chart, and okay, so we see that upside here, and with that upside momentum, and because there is a break of structure here, this is the 5 minutes price action, and expecting it to break back above again in that market, where Here is the level that you can see, and it's trying to break below here. Okay, we can see that upside here, and that is what we are looking at this market to eventually cross this high and then to create a new higher high. And we are at entry. It's interesting here. So we are looking to see there's a candle close coming, and that's very unusual price action, but you can see it's having push back up again. We'll see the session open coming in few minutes. So form an order block here after reaching significant profit zone, start reject back again, as there is a 1 hour candle close coming. See that what kind of market structure is forming here at the moment. We got significant move that we haven't taken a smaller profit here. The market moved to almost 48 pip in our favor, so we can still take another one. First of all, we still running in, and if you look at the 1 hour, the market so this is still a bull market, okay, where the price action still the market is rejecting off that level. See that where it is heading back to. So it's got rejected. We had 48 pip profit reach, but we didn't take it. That's fine. We will be looking at the next entry. Part of trading, so you'll see that what kind of we can look for the next entry as soon as we see suitable price action confirmation. This is the 1 hour candlestick pattern. I think there is a very high chance that the market with the candle close is still, you could see that upside bias, so I will still be looking for buying entry as soon as the price action confirms here, because with the 1 hour candle close, if you look at the market couldn't break the previous 1 hour low. At any point, there is a higher chance for this market to bounce back again. As long as we take the bigger profit, we are on it. And guys, I'm going to look at, this is a stronger liquidity grab. Okay, so you can see that with the 4 hour, from the 1 hour as well, before the candle close, there is a rejection below, and okay, so it tested the lower shadow of this, and there is a news coming in 15 minutes. So we'll be waiting for the news to come up, as the data is significant in this. If you look at as with the progression of the 15-minute session coming, ADP non-farm employment change, and once the data released, we will be seeing that the market gets stabilized and we can look for that entry. First of all, you want to see that it has done enough pullback here, and okay, so now this is a good buy opportunity. Otherwise, if there wasn't news, I would look for entry to the upside here. If you look at from here, it's coming down back below, and there's a 1 hour 20 EMA. There is a rejection of this level. This is a good area that we can look for potential bullish. But as there is a coming up data, we'll be waiting for the data to come up and then to return again back above here in that market. So it's getting the rejection of that level. News will push price to 4985. Now, still at those levels. The daily price action, if we look at today's market, once it opened, it has shown that upside bias, right? So the market has bounced off that level, right? And because the price has shown its upside bias, so breaking below of this daily support, for me, it's a very high probability buying opportunity, because the trend is still bullish. Right? The trend is still bullish, and we still can expect that this market to continue to rise back here. All right, now we have 10 minutes for the data to come up. We see there is a price action here, all right, with this support. Now this price action can still break below, or you could see that potentially bouncing back to the upside here. We have 10 minutes to go for the data. And in the meantime, also you're looking at the vote here, and see 49 vote, and I'm ending the poll here to see who is having the maximum. Okay, there is a, if you look at, there is a false breakout here. Okay, so that might bring that market for deeper pullback. So with the data, we might see the market to deepen here. Now if the market deepens here, that could take that price below before we could see again news will go down. So yeah, there is a potential for deeper pullback. Now we still not sure how far it deepen. It might cross this low and eventually break back to the upside, or it may come well below to the daily low. So that is what we are looking at here in that market, for the price to eventually drop down further back below before it move again in that market. In this lower time frame, we can see short-term downward trend here, right? So we see that the data might push that market back below. At the moment, we are not entering because there is data, and we don't want to enter in a market with spike. Okay, let the spike be settled, and then we can look for the entry here. Might retest 5021. If the market drops, we could see that it's breaking below. Okay, it might come well below. Okay, if the price, because here you see this trend has entirely broken. So this uptrend is failed here, and you can see the market changed this uptrend to a downtrend and could eventually drop down further here, and it may come back well below here to this support. All right, so you can see that downside, and we have 5 minutes for the data to come up here. Before the data, you might see the market to eventually break that low here, and still patient here for this extension, and the market may extend back below before it continues to rise again back above. But the market trend, if you look at here, this is the 1 hour trend, and the market trend is still bullish here. Okay, so that means breaking off that trend line can create a potential in overextension below and might bring new buying opportunity here in that market. $22K. Revenue on 5 employment change has significantly lowered here, so you can see that there's 22k, which was where the forecast was. So how does that has influenced the market? Okay, so that data that you can see on ADP non-farm employment change has created bearish move on DXY that you can see, which is lowering that market here in that area. So with that lowering of the price action here, this is a bearish move that you can see in that area, which is showing the market may eventually come down here further back below. And this is with this move here, the market showing that the price to eventually come down further back below. And therefore, if you look at here that the price action, if we see DXY is maintaining its downtrend, that is what we can see on XAUUSD, on gold. Now, as the data has come out, we see there is a primary bounce. Still here, it's showing that there might be some further downward pressure. Now, and with this move that the market has dropped to that support and expecting that this market eventually to return in that direction here. And therefore, in this area, if you look at See, there is a, after the double bottom, the market has maintained this reversal here in that area, and with that reversal, the price action potentially breaking that up here, and with that break to the upside, the market may potentially continue to trend here back above to create a new higher high. So therefore, here we are looking at this market in this area, that the market is showing to be potentially upside here. Reverse ahead, head and shoulder in progress. The news didn't move it, but price is still pushing down. So the market moved even before the news here, okay? Because of the, when there is a data, there is always a move that you can see. Okay, I was also looking at the DXY reaction here. It's important to look at cup and handle, because when you look at the DXY, you're gonna see that what might happen with gold and other instrument. Now, DXY, this market on DXY is, look at the daily. Today's market, it's a narrow range, but it tested the both direction, high and low. This is an order block that you can see previous resistance, turn support. And that order block, if you look at the resistance, turn support, which could eventually create. But here, the overall trend that you can see in this market could be. Now, if this is a kind of head and shoulder that you can see has formed in that market. Now, with that head and shoulder, price may eventually come down further back below, but I think that this market is still possibly to be bearish here, so that is potentially bullish for gold. And Okay, this is where the market started to bounce back above here, and so the market trend started again, has changed here. And with this market trend change that you can see, the price action here showing up to be significant here. Okay, so therefore okay, so with this uptrend, as we discussed that from the 1 hour, from this level, the market may try to move its back above from the 30 minutes that you can see the market structure is showing to be upside here. And that move that you can see the market is which you can see the market is maintaining this uptrend here, double bottom, and had a break back to the upside. So with this movement that you can see, the market is maintaining its way back here in that area. Now this move that you can see on gold is eventually creating that pattern here, and okay, the market trend that you can see showing up to be significantly bullish here. And breaking that up here, and with this bullish engulfer, the price is creating its upturn back to the upside here, and that is what we might see the market to eventually, because the data has come out, so we see that there is a momentum here now for another rejection of this level here, and with this momentum we are looking to see that it's eventually going back to the upside here potentially. All right, so this is a bullish trend, and we can see the market to continue to rise here, and we might see the price to eventually break that 5063 or above this level. And that is where, because the market trend is up, we are looking at this market to continue in that direction here. Could be inverted cup and head and shoulder. On 5 minutes or 15 minutes of time frame that we are looking at. M5 inverted. This is this kind of pattern it's creating, but I wouldn't name it. So it's a kind of structure that has broken back below and then moving back again in that direction. So once you see that market is with this move here, the market has crossed that high, And so there is a, if you look at the DXY has now some kind of price action that you can see, where from the lower time frame and from the 4 hour here, are you going to see a bullish on this instrument, or you could see that there might be a downside here? And okay, so with this break below, the market is now approaching that level, and with that downside here, if you look at, this is key support level, and of that key support, the recent resistance 5063, might find an entry here shortly. You want to see that break below. So there is a rejection here, and there is a higher chance for continuation. If we look at So you see that there is a, here we can see the breakup structure just coming down further below here, and with this breakup structure here, the market to eventually cross that low. And if you look at here, it's on the support. So with the DXY, we can see the market showing similar kind of pattern here. With this series of lower high, couldn't be bearish. We're still on downtrend now. Look, we see this is in an uptrend here, right? And if you look at that uptrend, the market is still in an uptrend, and you could see the price to continue potentially in that direction here. And this is where also the imbalance here in that market. This break below can potentially create a bullish bias here, can potentially create an uptrend in that area here in this market. So that being said, if you look at here, you can see this is the 1 hour price action, 30 minutes and the 15 minutes. Okay, so with this break below, this is a support, and the market with the 15 minutes candle close from this red bearish candle. Now if you look at here, you can see one drop, bounce back up, again another drop, which is basically coming down to another key support level. And okay, the market is on the support and getting the reaction back above here of this. The session's low is here, guys. This is the 4-hour session's low, right? And because the session's low is here, this is the lowest point that you could see the market to come back here for another test. And also 1 hour, this is the 1 hour candlestick pattern, which is forming a long wick doji here in that area. It's entirely sideways market though, that you can see. Very sideways. the price in a level where it is a zone where there is a higher chance for the market to have a rejection in this area. Still not seeing a clear direction, guys. This is a sometime the market will not give you clear directions, keep moving in a sideway, and we see DXY also moving in a sideway. That's looking at some fundamental to see USD struggles against RDP, National Employment Report, private sector employee. So this data, this news really doesn't make sense to me. ADP US National Employment Report, private sector employment increased. Is this increased or decreased? This minus 22k. Forecast was 46k. It's weird. So that's if you look at these two information, I'm not sure if I'm not reading it incorrectly. If you look at, guys, here, that, come on, it's weird. So if you look at the calendar, then with 22K, forecast was 46K. Okay, so it's only 22K increase. Now, in terms of the forecast, so got that it's not in minus. So basically, the growth was forecast 46K, but the actual is 22K. While if we look at here in November 2025, forecast was like it's more than forecast. So basically, it's comparison with the forecast and the actual. Okay, how does that? What's your opinion on prop firm? London, New York, and Tokyo session could go. Okay, so now how does that? We can see the market picking off that level. Now, the job data came less than the forecast, right? Which is an economic indicator. We'll be discussing that fundamental shortly after. But we can see here the market reverse of this level, and we want to look for that entry in that area. And this is 5 minutes price action also showing up to be bullish in that area. And what is your opinion on prop firm? If you are experienced trader, then I would say that you can look for, if you can pass a demo account, okay, take a demo account and then pass that first before you go to that. That's how you can keep that. Instead, I would say that, focus on learning. You can keep learning for a year without even any live account trading. I would say that even don't trade on live account, right? Just trade on demo. Keep learning. There's a lot of free education right here. Join the free Telegram channel that I here. You guys can see that there I share many of the free resources. Just keep doing what you are doing. Just keep learning. Okay. And if you want to live, trade on live, maybe create a smaller account. That's the best way. Okay, here you can see the market off this level getting rejected back to the upside. Because if you have a right tool, right strategy, you can trade in any account size. Let's say you have a tool, you have a strategy that you can let a smaller capital to grow over time. Now in 2026, okay, we can trade using the advanced tool, advanced trading strategy. You don't have to always trade manually. So keep focus on learning while also using some advanced strategy that can give you better understanding. Should trade micro. I would say that the focus on the risk percentage rather than the lot. Okay, so if you always trade micro, then for a smaller gap of stop loss, your risk will be bigger. For a bigger stop loss gap, your risk will be bigger. For a smaller stop loss gap, your risk will be smaller. But if you trade based on the risk percentage, then your lot size will be automatically adjusted for the risk percentage that you are taking. So that way you can adjust the risk size. Right? This is how you can do that. Okay, now we can see the market is in a very interesting, I would say that here, form an interesting consolidation pattern here in the day. Now with that interesting consolidation pattern, the market may show its momentum here in that area. There is a bullish engulfer that you can see in that area, and it's getting that below here, and that we are expecting the market here. It's maintaining that is still uptrend. I'm still looking for a potential entry, and we saw that if you look at the 4 hour, after this big move yesterday, there was a consolidation here, and the price has dropped back again, pushing back to the upside. So lower time frame, it has gone for an extended consolidation. If you look at, this is the 30 minutes price action, and throughout the session we are on that consolidation, guys. Now when the market moves this kind of consolidation, every day is different, right? So you see that there was a trending phase and there was consolidation phase. When the market in a consolidation, it is a time for patience, right? Remember, when the market in a consolidation, It's time for patience. Now, we saw the data has come out on ADP non-farm employment change, which forecast was 46K. The data came out to 22K, and that has created some change in the market structure that you can see. If you look at the DXY, has shown that bearish move here, which is showing that the market to eventually come down here potentially. And therefore, with that movement, if you look at the market, what I think DXY may continue to drop, or at least to downside. So that is giving an upside bias on gold. And that gold that you can see, the market may continue in that direction. So that being said, guys, this is another trading day, a different one. I didn't look for another entry today because the market is sideways. That's how you need to be patient. And we are looking for the next entry later. I'll be coming on live again tomorrow. In the same time, we'll be trading the next trade, the next calendar that you will see tomorrow. Today also there is another news coming in an hour. And then we'll see tomorrow coming up some high impact news as well. So if you look at it's down on Thursday, tomorrow will be in this time on Friday. So, which is Euro news tomorrow coming up, and refinancing, monetary policy statement, and dollar will be tentative, which is unemployment claims, and then coming down here. So with that being said, we are looking at potential entry in that market. And thank you for joining here. I will see you again very soon, guys. Trading live. And in the meantime, you can stay connected by joining the live session, joining the Telegram, where you can find everything that you can expect here. Thank you.